Hello guys, welcome back to another Lumley trading video. In this one we're going to be doing some in-depth stock analysis on Bed Bath & Beyond ticker BBBY. So to get straight into it, obviously they did have a big decrease in stock price. This was just down to them again, once and again, there is a potential bankruptcy on the paper. So seeing that, obviously we did get a strong decrease in price from our previous analysis. It did actually break out of our zone. We had a zone between kind of 225, I think it was 189 to around 275, and what we can see basically is we broke out of this range, we came back for that retest, basically tested this range perfectly and started to decrease in price again. So what this kind of confirms is two things. Firstly, obviously the stock is definitely way more bearish and kind of coming back, acting as some sort of fade, because it came back to that price and then decreased down. It's showing that kind of the more fair value is definitely now down to around kind of 170. So what this basically means, and to make this kind of more clear, as you can see, where are our statistical means? We have on the right, we have the 1 year, on the left we have a 6 month, and we have our statistical means from around 270 to around 140. Within this area, no matter what, I don't usually tend to trade because, again, direction is unclear, you're taking a lot more risk on, and again, the risk reward just isn't usually there if you're within range. So and usually the edge isn't there, so I don't tend to trade within this range. So for me, not something I'm paying attention to. But considering this stock is way more bearish at the moment, I don't really want to be playing too much to break downwards, because obviously we know this stock has a tendency to short squeeze, and again, it wouldn't be unlikely to see something like Wall Street Bets or something like that just try to squeeze it once again, because again, a lot of people are bag holding. If you go in there, not even Wall Street Bets, but even just like the Bed and Bath or whatever, even these videos you'll see all the people saying, oh no, it's going to the moon, even now, and it's really because they're just bag holding. Most people, I mean, imagine even watching this video, you're probably bag holding, you're probably down a significant amount, and that's really why a lot of people are watching this. So really, what is the trading plan going forward, or at least what am I looking at going forward? And really within this range and kind of to the downside, I'm not looking to trade this stock, and the reason for that is there's now just not enough upside to really justify going to trading the downside. And again, obviously we've decreased in price so much, we're now kind of getting down to this value where bad news really isn't doing all that much. Obviously we had this bankruptcy news once again, it acted more as a fade, it sunk down, came back to kind of retest it, and now kind of just trading, kind of consolidating. It's interesting to see, but also kind of shows is that this bad news is really not hitting as much or as hard as it used to. So again, I don't really want to be trading to the downside because it may be showing a bit weaker now, kind of the downward momentum is now getting a bit weaker. So if it breaks the 140, or kind of even that 52-week low, the 127, maybe some day trading opportunities. Nothing I would be looking to swing, maybe just hitting the puts intraday, and there could definitely be some potential down to around $1. But really that's the only day trading opportunity I'd be looking at to the downside. Really what I'd be paying more attention to is the break to the upside. If we can start breaking and closing above 275, then there is definitely some upside potential, because I would be looking for a move to around 630 to around 750, and this will be quite handy because again, there's two main trading opportunities I look at on Bed Bath & Beyond. Again, don't tend to trade it all that much. I'm not somebody who's looking for that massive potential short squeeze, but again, there's no reason to kind of be stupid. If you think there is going to be a squeeze, there is smart ways to play it, and it's not just holding shares, because again, you're taking so much risk. You're kind of wasting a lot of capital because you've got to hold it in the trade, and if it does continue down, all you're going to be is a bag holder if you don't have a stop. But one way I don't mind trading it is, especially now we've had this news, the stock sunk a bit further, the calls are getting cheap. We can get some calls, you know, the $10 strike, let's say, they'll be quite cheap. We can put a certain amount of money. Again, I would never be putting much money in a trade like this. Let's say it was $250, I'm willing to lose that. That doesn't matter if I lose it, but if the move does happen, again, that could turn into maybe $2,500, so it can make, you know, not much into something. So that's really how I'm looking at trading the short squeeze. But again, there's no saying it's going to happen. It is a gamble to play a short squeeze, and that's why I wouldn't be ever putting much money in a trade like that. But seeing that, what is the main trade I'll be looking at? And that's if the short squeeze happens. Again, if nothing happens in this stock, I don't really care. I'm not going to trade. I'm not going to even look at it. But like how I traded GameStop, how I traded AMC, and how I traded Bed Bath & Beyond when they did these massive squeezes, and that's trading it through another option strategy called spreads. So again, this can be credit or debit spreads, and all that really means is you buy one, you sell one, near enough at the same, or you know, maybe a few strike prices difference on the same expiry day. And what this basically does means you have a defined risk, you have a defined upside, but you can basically make your criteria as you like. For example, if we start breaking above 750, we know most likely it's not going to stay above this price for long. So if it starts breaking above that level, especially $10 is probably when I'll start hitting these credit and debit spreads. Is if it breaks above $10, I know probably 6 months down the line, it's still not going to be at $10. It's most likely going to fall back below. So trading a debit or a credit spread, I can basically say that. I can say within the next 6 months, I expect it to go below $10. Well, I expect it in 6 months to be below $10. If it is, I get my, the reward from the risk and reward, and usually they're one-to-one. So if I'm risking $1,000, I usually win $1,000. If in 6 months it's still above, or it hasn't dropped any time really between, and it's still above that $10, okay, I'll lose that $1,000. But what's the likelihood of that happening? In my opinion, it wouldn't be much that it stays above $10. So that's how I look to trade these, because again, especially when they squeeze here, you can see this move. Even if you traded this first move, the one below $13, again, 6 months down the line, still nowhere near there. So even if you think of it like this, even if you only catch that first one, the money's still on the table. Again, you would be, okay, your trade would be down big by then, but again, it's all within the defined risk. Let's say you put $100 into a trade, cool, you may be down $80, let's say at this point, but again, it's not going to matter. It's not expiry. You haven't actually lost money. 6 months down the line, let's say it's all the way down here, cool, you've made your max reward, which in that case would have been that $100. So that's really how I look to trade these, because they're quite easy to catch. You don't need to catch the timings. I usually just trade them into deviation levels, because I know that's a good high probability that even if it goes higher, it will close below here soon, and definitely within the next 6 months. So that's how I look to trade them. And the key levels I'll be looking at going high would be $6.30, $7.60, $10, $14, $20. We also missed the 17 there, and a final level at $26.25. So that is what I'm looking at on Bed Bath and Beyond. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, why not drop a like and subscribe, and check out this analysis video.